We have reaction, of course, from the other side. Let's bring in Republican Georgia Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Doug Collins. Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman. We really appreciate it. We want to talk a little bit about the debate. We just saw your colleague on, Debbie Dingell, the Congresswoman, talking a little bit about the different approaches the former Vice President Joe Biden and President Trump have. We have seen President Trump out there on the campaign trail in these recent days. We have not seen a lot of the former Vice President, as he has, as Leland mentioned, called a lid so frequently in the last weeks. Presumably, he is preparing for the debate set to be right here Tuesday night on Fox News Channel. Your thoughts on the two men and their approaches here in the days, just a few days, until that debate?
First off, the best job in the country right now is covering Joe Biden's presidential campaign. You don't have to go anywhere. They declare a full lid and nothing happens. I mean, I'm really wondering, is there a secret passageway to get out of the basement? Because there's just such a distinct difference here. You have a president who is leading, a president who is out talking to voters, a president who is out doing the things that you expect a candidate to do. And you have Joe Biden simply hiding behind surrogates and hiding behind prepared speeches and hiding behind cue cards on Zoom calls. It's just, there's a difference here. Do you want a leader who leads, or do you want one who seemingly wants to hide behind the apparatus of the Democratic Party and assume that that's what's going to get him elected because he's just saying, I want to be the alternative to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is putting out a vision for America and says, vote for me for what we've already done and what I want to do.
All right. Well, I've got my popcorn ready. I'm very much looking forward to Tuesday. But we have a little bit of polling about the importance of making debates in far as making the decision as far as voters are concerned. 18% say extremely important, 11% say quite important, just somewhat important 27, not all that important at 44. But that 18 and 11%, those are pretty high numbers of people that are looking at this and potentially could use this debate to make a decision. We also have another poll taken after the 2016 presidential debate. That had shown that Hillary Clinton, right before the debate, was up over President Trump, and also right after the debate up as well. And yet she, of course, went on, as we know, to lose the election. Your thoughts on the importance, the impact, the potential impact of this first debate and the debates beyond?
Well, I think they always have a position and something you can use for the public to look at and to measure candidates. President Biden and Vice President Biden and President Trump are going to have a chance to be front and center with the world watching, and you're going to get to see them face to face, probably more than any other debates that we've seen in presidential. Maybe going back to the Kennedy-Nixon debates, which was really the first where people got to see folks. They're really concerned now. People want to see this issue of a presidential candidate, Joe Biden, who is hiding from the American people, who is simply running ads and doing a media campaign, and a president who is actually out among the people. This will give them a chance to size up the two men in a way of answering questions, how they handle themselves, how they present themselves. What I have found on the campaign trail is people want to see how you react to questions. They don't want to see how you react, to prepared stuff that you can make an answer for. They want to see how you stand on your own 2 feet, because as a president, you have to confront the day-to-day issues. You have to be willing to make decisions. And Joe Biden right now has called into question his ability to make those decisions because he simply loses track. He loses focus. He doesn't go out in public. And when he does go out in public, they're having to rush him to get back into the basement because they're scared of what he's going to say.
One of the things about the debates, it seems like each campaign is looking for that moment, something they could take away from the debate in the coming days that would be, a win for them to have that big moment. Biden recently has called President Trump the worst president, calling him vindictive, and the Biden campaign saying they expect personal attacks. So when you talk about trying to make points on these important issues that Chris Wallace will be bringing up to these two competitors at this point, these are competitors that are on the cusp of an election, are we also going to see some of that nasty back and forth, do you think?
I think you'll see some pointed statements. Every moment of a public debate has those, but I think it's going to be really interesting is that President Trump can talk about actual accomplishments. He can talk about the tax cut and job plan, which improve our economy, had the lowest unemployment in the country we've seen in years, especially among minority groups. And he can talk about the First Step Act. He can talk about criminal justice reform. He can talk about actual accomplishments. Joe Biden, the biggest thing they're trying to do is avoid a gaffe and then have to go back and talk about failed policies such as Obamacare and having a terrible foreign policy with Iran and basically, giving away the farm when it came to our standing in the world with our military. These are the kind of things that are going to be drawn. So there are going to be sharp distinctions. I think the president will make some of those distinctions. I think Joe Biden will try. I think he's been practicing probably in his debate. So you always work to that. But I think the interesting issue is the two presences on the stage will be the thing.
Congressman, thank you. Some good points there, especially about the campaigns trying to avoid having the big gaffe that might play for days and days as that goes ahead. Representative Doug Collins, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Molly. It's glad to be with you.
Leland?